I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. There's so many.
Excuse me, coming through, sorry, coming through. Made it. Sorry I'm running so late. I had a few errands to complete. You know, it's never been easy for me to be anywhere on time. My family knows this well. And so does anyone that I've ever worked with or played sports with. You know, my original Mama Grand, she would chastise me for being late to the dinner table, saying, Malusha, you will be late for your own funeral. Well now, how could I possibly let her down? Well, here I am then. I'm here for my graduation. Well, you see, I felt earlier this year that my passing was more like graduating from the here and now to the everywhere and always. You know, there's something grand about that concept. I do feel like that's what has happened. Take a moment, close your eyes, feel the air around your skin. Listen to the world just outside yourselves. I am there. In the words of the poet Walt Whitman, I am large. I contain multitudes. You know, my graduations from elementary, secondary, and post-secondary school were unremarkable. Row upon row of black gowns, being led to the stage to shake hands with the principal or provost or principal, and collecting a blank piece of paper rolled up with a red ribbon. A quick photo. Well, what I missed the most was being bestowed upon that coveted role of valedictorian. I was not ever in the running with my mousy voice, paucity of vocabulary, and fear of the limelight. Well, how have things changed over the years? Today, I would like to share with some of you the highlights of my years on this planet and to inspire each and every one of you with my stories so that hopefully you will leave here wanting to carry on my torch of kindness, goodwill, and my sense of adventure. So, how do you measure a successful life? Is it the moments of satisfaction at a goal accomplished? Is it the number of warm embraces that you have given and received, be they verbal or physical? Well, I have been blessed with an abundance of both, and I am grateful for that. So maybe you start with a big dream, or maybe it's okay to start with a just right dream. Not too big, not too small. When I was in grade 5, I wanted to be a geologist. I liked rocks and minerals, but I had no mentors to guide me in that direction. Then in grade 10, I wanted to be a gym teacher because I thought they got to play sports all day. And then I realized they were actually struggling to motivate young women to play sports and get physical. And it wasn't easy. This was even before electronics and social media took a hold of the next generation. Then I discovered the field of communication disorders, very accidentally. I was reading a column in the Maclean's magazine, 1979 edition, about a rehab program at SickKids Hospital for children with maxillofacial disorders. I liked the fact that speech pathology combined sciences with the helping profession. Well, this was the just right dream for me. I had stumbled upon it, and this dream allowed me to build lifelong friendships, loads of laughter, and wonderful memories. And I hope that you have been as fortunate as I have in landing a career that is as satisfying in so many ways. Thank you, Kathy, Teresa, Anila, Brenda, and Lori, amongst many other Durham dames, for indulging my crazy ideas that took collaboration to new heights. Oh, do you need to be considered a successful athlete in your life? Do you want to be an Olympian? Well, my parents both had pretty good genes, very athletic, and did well in the sports field. And surprisingly, my sisters and I were blessed with their same genes. We took to sports like a fish to water. Well, actually, when it came to water, I was more like a frightened kitten, failing each Red Cross test at least once. From those unremarkable lessons, I am happy to say that I conquered swimming. First, in a swimming pool as a lifeguard and a swim instructor, and then I migrated to the challenge of the Kawartha Lakes as a slalom water skier, not afraid of those weeds. And finally, I even had a chance to scuba dive with sharks in the open waters of the Bahamas in 2017. I am here to tell you that anything is possible if you take it one step at a time, or should I say one stroke at a time. So my mother wanted us to be all Canadian kids. She enrolled us in family weekend memberships at Uplands Ski Hole and as well as Don Mill Ski Hole in North York. My sisters and I suffered freezing temperatures of the 1960s to learn our stem Christies and our parallel turns. I dreaded those winter weekends, but they led me to spending time with my kids on the Avondale Alternative School ski days, as well as holidays in Vermont at Jay Peak. Now, what Ontario skier doesn't dream about skiing the Rockies? Well, Colorado, Whistler, and Lake Louise were served up to me a few years ago. How ultra satisfying it was to look out over the vast expanse of mountain range before skiing a perfectly groomed trail or tackling a fresh mound of powder snow. I felt small and yet large. Were these the multitudes the poet spoke of? Will you be in the moment when these moments approach you? Now, I would be remiss if I did not mention the friendships that I developed as a parent volunteer at Avondale. Jocelyn, Sheila, Stella, Helen, thank you for your continued support these past 4 years since my diagnosis of cancer. Speaking of, over the past several years, people have asked me, how can you be so accepting of your situation? And I can't help but respond to them, but I have lived a full life. I have experienced everything I could have dreamed of and more. I have had that ice cream sundae with the whipped cream, the butterscotch topping, the chocolate sprinkles, and the cherry on top, several times over. And I hope you will too. So for those of you who know me well, thank you for sharing your love, your laughter, and your moments of joy. I wish nothing but the best for you. Oh, a I got my wings. I guess that means I've arrived. Well, some of me will lie here, and some of me will be scattered in the Kawartha Lakes, and even some of me will be carried with my beloveds as they see fit. But all of me will be above all of you, looking out for you, looking over you, watching out for you with all my love. So I have put off long enough the hardest part of my goodbyes. My immediate family, Andy, Brenna, Victoria Mitchell. How did we get to be such a close-knit, dynamic family? We call ourselves the Fam Jam, the Charles Fam Jam. Well, I'd like to believe that it was a combination of love, encouragement, adventurous spirit, and effort. After my diagnosis of pancreatic cancer in September of 2018, we formed the Hanky Panky Project team, with each member being assigned a specific role to match their expertise. This wasn't the try hard team. This was the get her done team. You know, there was the research consultant, the communications advisor, the cooking and cleaning supervisor, and leading the charge for better treatment options was our fearless leader, Andy Charles. I was the project. I am sure that this team gave me the extra 4 years of highly fulfilling time that is practically unheard of in people with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. There are no words to acknowledge the depth of my gratitude to these 4 human beings for enriching my life and for looking out for me and looking after me these past 4 years. Brenna, you were always the pensive one, hiding that crystal heart of yours that could shatter any moment if something in your life went awry. Your world was turned upside down when you first heard of my condition. Remember, you used to come all the way across the city from work to spend a few hours beside me on my chemo days. And then when Archer came along, you made sure to build as many memories and document them for his future reflections of his one and only Mama Grand. Thank you. I love you forever. Now, Victoria, you always wore your heart on your sleeve. We knew exactly how you were feeling because you came across loud and clear. You wanted the best for me, and you came up with ways to ensure that. Remember this, you printed out a list of what visitors' rules were, and you posted it on the door of the Africa room. That was the spare bedroom in Hollywood Avenue, decorated with relics from Kenya, that I spent my first 4 days of chemo treatment every other week early on. What was on that piece of paper, you want to know? Things like sanitize your hands before you enter, wear a mask, do not take up more time than is absolutely necessary, and ask what Milady would care for. How did I get so lucky to have your constant loving, caring, attentive presence, even after you moved to your very own home last winter? Well, thank you for putting me first, even before your pupperoonies. Thank you for the countless "I love you, Ma," and the squeezy hugs. You are like Kangaroo's little Roo from Winnie the Pooh, not far from my pouch, at all and ready to hop in at a moment's notice. I love you so much. Mitchell, you act stoic and you put on a brave front, but I know you worry about how the Charles Fam Jam will cope without the matriarch and CEO. But please know that I have been grooming your dad to take over critical roles like changing the furnace filter and the water filters, directing all the service providers, and emptying the dishwasher. He knows you have his back too. You have always been able to calm me down when I go on a silly little rant with your mama kaboosh tone of voice. Mitchell, thank you for reminding me what is important in life with your words and actions. I love you always and everywhere. Andy, stop crying. I realize that nothing can prepare you for the eventuality that we does indeed become me, especially after 43 years of togetherness. When we first made our vows 38 years ago, for better or worse, who would have thought that it would be you looking after me? Well, I apologize for taking you out of your comfort zone. I always wanted to make life easy for you so that you could focus on what you were truly gifted in. We have had such a rich marriage with nothing left undone. We have raised 3 magnificent kids who have found partners that we confidently know will continue what we have modeled as true family commitment. We have traveled to places that neither of us dreamed of going to as youngsters. We have teased each other to the very end, the same way that we teased each other when we were first dating. Oh, the quips and the giggles and the laughter. We have felt deep love for each other. Andy, if loyal is your middle name, then tenacious should be your last name. These last few years, you were the one who was persistent in caring for me, never wavering once. All those doctor's appointments and clinic appointments, they would have worn a mere mortal down. But you always made time for me. You learned how to shop for groceries, prescription drugs, and supplements for me. I am truly blessed to have found you and kept you. You know, when we first met in university, I had no idea I could learn so much from you, a C+ student who surrounded himself with A+ friends and associates, and now successfully runs an organization with A+ employees. Thank you for always reminding me, people over things. That's right, people over things. Do you remember pretending to study poetry with me in English class? And I recited Elizabeth Barrett Browning's words to you. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. Well, that can never change. I shall but love thee better after death. Andy, be strong and know you will be fine. Better than fine.
I'm a leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. Now the time has come to leave you. One more time, let me kiss you, then close your eyes. I'll be on my way. Dream about the days to come when I won't have to leave alone. About the time again, leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again, leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go.